they should really take care of other problems than going after small family businesses.
Businesses across several Quebec cities will soon receive anonymous visits from observers evaluating whether customers can receive service in French. The initiative, led by Quebec's language watchdog, the OQLF, is part of a research study designed to measure the availability of French as a language of service in everyday commercial interactions. It's important to clarify that this is a study and that it is in no way intended to penalize the business visited. The businesses will not be identified in the research report. The project is part of the office's mandate to monitor the evolution of the French language in Quebec and report on it to the province's minister responsible for the French language at least every 5 years. The purpose of the study is to assess the availability of French as a language of service in businesses. It is important to understand that this is not an inspection, but rather an observational visit aimed at documenting the linguistic situation in Quebec. For some businesses, the study arrives at a time when language laws are already drawing attention. While this research is meant to observe rather than enforce, at a small family-run bakery in Montreal's Villeray neighborhood, Charbel Hanan and his family were recently notified by the OQLF that a complaint had been filed over English language posts on the bakery's social media.
I think sending inspectors would be a better approach to the businesses, especially the small businesses like us that are family businesses. It's less afraid than receiving a letter out of nowhere and that looks like a fine and you don't even know what's really going on.
Retailers acknowledge the importance of protecting French, but say adapting to new regulations can be challenging.
We all agree that protecting French language is a priority, and retailers do a lot to make sure that they comply with every detail of the regulations. The issue sometimes is when you change the rules and you don't give enough time to comply with, signage regulation, packaging, and all those detailed regulations. So we, as we said before, we need to give time to retailers to adapt because they want to comply. Sometimes it's just a question of capacity with a short period of time.
Community groups like TALK have also raised concerns about the study.
Let me be clear, we support the protection and promotion of the French language. It's very important, but it's also important not to be petty and not to really focus in on something that's really irrelevant. And we're doing a very costly survey when the monies can certainly go elsewhere.
On the streets of Montreal, opinions about language enforcement vary.
It's very important to protect our language. It's the most important thing to do us. It's our cultures or language. It's our history. It's all the French language.
I think they should give them at least some time to process everything and to put in place what could be needed to implement French language and communication.
In Montreal, Adriana Gentile, City News.